News Sports Center.
In Major League Baseball, earlier today, the World Series champion Texas Rangers got a 6-4 win over the Dodgers, while the Astros got a 6-1 win over the Florida Marlins. San Antonio's lost 5 straight as they return home from their rodeo road trip 1-8 after a 114-105 loss to Minnesota. They return to action tomorrow night against the Thunder.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge. What's up, gang? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thank you for tuning in. However you may be doing that, whether that is on 94.1, sasportstar.com, or via our YouTube channel at SA Sports Star. Be sure to like, subscribe. You can comment along with the show right there in the comments, or you can get at me on Twitter, X, Instagram, all that. I am Pledger. You can get the station at SA Sports Star. And speaking of social media, we've got a video going around today into which I try to make the case for Victor Wembanyama, and we already know he's walking away with the MVP. And this is more of a continuation of what I was talking about in the NFL when CJ Stroud was playing at his level earlier in the season before his injury. Look, Spurs lost. Spurs are awful. I'm not trying to justify anything that the Spurs are doing as well, except for Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama is playing at such a level that it deserves recognition, and even more recognition than what's I can already feels not going to be given to him, because he's on an 11-win team. But Defensive Player of the Year is not a team award. It's an individual award. MVP, I get it. You've got to be so good to make your team that much better, your surrounding group. Team success is part of an MVP award. I won't dispute that at all. Defensive Player of the Year is an individual greatness award. And if you go to our TikTok, our Instagram, my Instagram, our Twitter, at I Am Pledger, at SA Sports Star, you're going to see me make the case for Victor Wembanyama as the Defensive Player of the Year. And I've already had to deal with this with Joe, and I had to deal with it with CJ, and I've had to deal with it on other situations. But I'm tired of the mindset that it's always been this way, so we can't do anything about that. That is archaic, outdated mentality to think that we shouldn't change anything just because it's always been that way. Victor Wembanyama is having a defensive season to the likes of what we haven't seen, or at least I haven't seen in my lifetime. It's lazy to think that because he's a rookie, he shouldn't be eligible for this award. No, it is a league-wide award. Once you are in the league, you are available to win whatever award is potentially available to you. Since last night, he went up to 175 blocks on the season. 175. He leads the league, averaging 3.3 a game. The next closest person to Victor Wembanyama when it comes to blocking shots is Brook Lopez at 153. He is over 22 blocks clear of the next closest person to him this season. Rudy Gobert, who is the presumptive favorite to win player of the year, right, it seems, only has 117 this season. He also plays with Karl Anthony Towns. Now, Rudy Gobert leads in defensive efficiency with a 107.9 rating. Vic is just behind him at 104.1. Tied with Rudy Gobert's teammate, Karl Anthony Towns. So you have two players that rank that highly in defensive efficiency playing next to one another. That is obviously going to help feed each of them in terms of that category. Wemby is playing with the worst collection of defensive talent that any of us have ever seen, and he is still doing these things. He went up. He was 15th in steals. After last night, he went up to 70 total steals on the season, and he's 12th in total steals on the season right now, averaging 1.3 a game. Gobert has just 33 on the season. 70 steals to 33. Wemby's played in 4 fewer games than Gobert and 3 fewer than Karl Anthony Towns. Oh, and by the way, he spent the big chunk of the first part of the season on an insane minutes restriction that has kept him below 25 minutes for most of this season. I don't agree with it's always been done this way. That's the way it needs to be done. No, there are exceptions. I understand that rookies likely aren't going to win certain awards. But when they put up the numbers that dictate that they should be in consideration for those awards, you have to consider them. I'm not even saying he should win. He should at least be in the conversation, though, as a rookie because of what he's doing this year on the floor. I hope I'm wrong, but history says he's going to be horribly overlooked when it comes to this. Like the Brock Purdy slander, like when CJ Stroud, I was told, shouldn't have been a candidate for MVP when he was playing the way he was before the injury. I am done, and I am preemptively firing off a shot that Wemby should not be overlooked for Defensive Player of the Year. Not MVP. I'm not that crazy. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate everybody already checking in from records on our YouTube live saying Defensive Player of the Year Wemby should get, or at least be in that conversation. Exactly. That is my point. That is what I'm trying to get across. Because if you were to blindly put up Wemby's numbers, defensive efficiency, blocks, steals, all the defensive metrics they use for this award, and you took the names away and you just put their statistics in a column, I bet you it would be a landslide that Victor Wembanyama would win that award. And he's being overlooked because he's on such a porous team, and he is still doing these things on the defensive side despite everything that surrounds him. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. Don't forget, you can be a part of the conversation. 210-656-ESPN, 210-656-3776. The Cowboys and their brass, well, they're up in Indianapolis at the scouting combine. Stephen Jones has already spoken. We're waiting to hear from Jerry Jones, but fresh off of his trip from Vegas, Jason Minix joins me to talk about that, plus his thoughts on what I just said about Victor Wembanyama. That's all coming up right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, the San Antonio Spurs are back from the rodeo road trip, and they are on the hunt for their 12th win of the season. Will it come tonight against Oklahoma City? We'll get into it. Also, the NFL Combine rolls along. The Dallas Cowboys continue to make headlines. We have thoughts. You have breakfast. We start at 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Do you want the most money for your used car and a hassle-free process? Give Me the VIN. We'll beat your written CarMax offer or write you a check for $100. It's that simple. Give Me the VIN is fast, easy, reliable, and pays top dollar for your car. Give Me the VIN is A+ rated by the BBB. Get an instant cash offer and the most money for your used car right now at GiveMeTheVIN.com. America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. It's so easy you can do it in your underwear.
Let's listen in on a modern-day marriage proposal. The players lift their smartphones. The young man pledges his true love to the woman of his dreams. She accepts. They exchange kissing emojis. There are some hearts. Very nice. Well, look at this. He's putting his phone down. I don't believe it. He's got a box from Diamonds Direct. Well, now she puts her phone down. Oh, unbelievable. That, folks, shows how special a diamond from Diamonds Direct is. Two people have put their phones down. He slips the Diamonds Direct diamond on her finger. She kisses him. Human contact, ladies and gentlemen. Who knew a Diamonds Direct diamond was capable of revolutionizing the virtual universe? And look at this. Her phone is ringing and she's still looking at her Diamonds Direct diamond. Oh, what's next? Tweets from actual birds? Amazing things really do happen when you give her a diamond from Diamonds Direct. Come in today and see how we can help you download real emotion. Details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. Your love, our passion.
The Latap Texas cycling races are back in San Antonio, April 12th to the 14th. Cyclists of all ages, register now to ride in the 100, 60, or 25-mile Tour de France amateur cycling events. You can run, walk, cycle, and celebrate all things Fitness Fiesta at the Athletes Village and Expo. Latap Texas. Register today at fiestafitfest.com. Presented in part by Thomas J. Henry.
Let our team keep your home running comfortable and worry-free. Call on Mr. Electric for all your electrical needs. 210-248-2026. Or get a hold of us online at mrelectric.com and enter your zip code.
License number TECL 34221.
Taco Bell just dropped the new Cravings Value Menu. Now you can get 10 items for $3 or less, which means you can get the food you want for the price you want. It's almost like you can have your cake and eat it too. But in this case, it's a double-stacked taco from the new Cravings Value Menu. So basically, you can have your double-stacked taco and eat it too, which is a lot crunchier than cake. The new Cravings Value Menu is here. Get it at Taco Bell today. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Tax extra.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% on your choice of any 3 or more A.O. Smith water heaters. And there's more. Save 15% when you buy any 4 or more Purdy products. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Do you have failing or missing teeth? Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew Mueller, Chief Oral Surgeon at Doctors Implants.
I had missing teeth, I had crowns, I had partials.
There was no way I was going to walk into my bathroom every morning to see my teeth in a container.
At Doctors Implants, replacing your teeth with full mouth dental implants might be the long-term solution you're looking for.
The 6-Hour Smile is a permanent full mouth teeth replacement. Your new smile will be custom designed to fit your face and lifestyle and will look and function just like regular teeth. You won't need to remove them from your mouth overnight, and you won't need adhesive to keep them in place. Eat freely and smile confidently again. Research them at doctorsimplants.com. Receive a complimentary doctor's consultation and CT scan when you call 210-640-0000. Again, that's 210-640-0000.
Home of the 6-Hour Smile.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Psst. Hey, Mark, remember, getting help from Progressive is so easy. You can use the mobile app, chat with us online, or call us.
And you pick now to tell me.
I couldn't miss Little Grace's ballet recital. Oh, thanks for inviting me, by the way.
Did I?
Because you know I'm always here for you.
Yeah. I can use the mobile app if I need help. Sorry, you're in my wife's seat, though?
Oh, yeah, I gotta go anyway. Tell Grace she nailed her chassé.
Get the help you need from Progressive with our mobile app, online chat, or over affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Tonight at 7, it's the Aggies and South Carolina on your home for March Madness. 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
And don't forget, coming up at 7 o'clock, we got Texas A&M pregame. That's right, we are your home for the Texas A&M Aggies. They'll be taking on 18th-ranked South Carolina tonight in College Station. 7:30 tip-off from Reed Arena, but it all starts right here after Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me as we get you all the way up to the pregame show with Andrew Monaco. But we'll take a look back for a little bit. I wanted to talk to Jason Minix, who is fresh off a trip from Las Vegas a couple of times in the same month. So hopefully he's still up for it, because 10 days in Vegas, that's a long time for a month.
Well, not 10 days consecutively, thank goodness. I thought 6 days was during Super Bowl week, might be 3 too many. 4 days is still 1 too many, but it's Vegas. I'll always go back. You know, a couple of years ago, I did back-to-back Vegas weekends, and that was bad for the wallet and the liver. I went and saw a Pacquiao fight, and then the following weekend it was a Metallica concert, and yeah, that was rough.
I remember that weekend. Yeah, that was a rough.
Yeah, I don't. So I remember bits and pieces, but yeah. So I got a question for you, Pledge. To start off the show, you said Wemby MVP.
No,
but your case was for Defensive Player of the Year. So I wanted to clarify: are you making a case for Wemby to win every trophy out there? MVP was a slip of the tongue. Defensive Player of the Year, Water Boy of the Year, Rookie of the Year. He just give him every trophy that's out there.
Not every trophy that's out there. MVP, I said I won't make the case for MVP, because that is a specifically how your team performs based on your presence, and the Spurs are absolutely not good enough for that. But in terms of Defensive Player of the Year, which is an individual accolade that has nothing to do with team success, I will put that in the ether, and I don't care that he's a rookie. What he's doing is second to none this season in the NBA on the defensive side of the court.
You know, I agree with that, but I don't care if he's a rookie or not. But I do disagree that it's all about individual, because it is a team game. And I don't care how good you are defensively, your team has 11 wins. And it does factor in when it comes to the voters. He'll win Rookie of the Year, and I will entertain somebody. I won't vote this way, but I would entertain somebody that wants to go Chet Holmgren Rookie of the Year, because his team is winning and he's having more of an impact when it comes to wins and losses. And that is the only viable argument out there for Chet Holmgren. Everything else leans towards Wemby.
But are they winning because of Chet, or are they winning because SGA is an MVP?
Well, I mean, Chet's a part of it. So the answer to your question is yes. You know, I mean, the Spurs aren't winning. They aren't. They're losing, and they've got a guy like Wemby. So, I mean, I do think sometimes team success, when you're doling out individual awards at the end of the year, your team success is going to factor into that. And I think that's going to come into play with Defensive Player of the Year. You know, I don't buy the argument because he's a rookie he can't win. That's BS. And but I do think team success factors into that. You're great defensively, but your team is awful defensively. And I'm sure there are some metrics out there, like plus minus, that might say a different story about his greatness on defense. His blocks are incredible. He should have more rebounds. But you said something that I thought was interesting, and it reminded me of all the Dak Prescott MVP talk. Well, he needs to be in the conversation. He can be in the conversation, but you're not going to win. I think Wemby will be in the conversation, but he's not going to win. And I think the reason he's not going to win is because the Spurs have 11 wins on the season. His team is awful.
I agree with that, but it's hard to separate when I see Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert and very atop the defensive efficiency metric. And two of those guys play next to each other, which only feeds into how well they can each be individually.
Sure.
Wemby has
but
nothing like that around him.
No, but again, though, I mean, if they're all kind of tied, then you sit there and you go, all right, well, one's on a winning team. The other one, I mean, teammates make you better. And I think that factors in. And again, is your point for him to be in the conversation, or is your point for him to win the award? Because those are two very different topics and conversations. He's in the conversation because we're talking about it. We're having a conversation about it right now. That doesn't mean he's going to win the award. Doesn't mean he should win the award. And I think part of that is because his team is awful.
My argument is he should be in the conversation. And he is in the conversation. The pushback I get from a lot of people, including your co-host, is he shouldn't be because he's a rookie, and rookies shouldn't win awards like that. They need to wait their turn to win awards like that because they're rookies.
I'm not saying Joe Reinagel's dumb, but that's a dumb comment. That he can't win the award because he's a rookie.
But it's not just him. You hear a lot of people that talk in that kind of parlance about rookies.
To me, that's dumb. If you're the best player, you're the best player. If you're a rookie and you can win MVP, go win MVP. There's other arguments, and team success is a part of it, that will keep him from getting an award like that. I just, there's nothing that says a rookie can't win the award. And again, if he's the best player defensively, he should win the award and would have a good chance at winning the award. But being in the conversation, which is what you said you wanted, you got that because we're having a conversation about it.
You and I are having a conversation. I think he should be in the conversation when it comes to the voters, which is a different conversation.
Well, I mean, he might be.
He might.
Is he? I mean, it's the second half of the year. You look at the things that he's doing. I mean, he did something last night on the basketball court that I don't know that I've ever seen in an NBA game. Well, exactly. I mean, when he was just bouncing the ball above some dude's head, and it looked like, and I tweeted this, it kind of reminded me when I was playing basketball in junior high against the high school guys that would tower over me. Not that most people don't tower over me, but it just didn't even seem fair. It's like you're playing with a 8-year-old Nerf basketball in your bedroom, and or maybe a 5-year-old, depending on it's just he does things that aren't real, but because it's Wemby, it feels so normal. And he might get judged negatively for that. We expect him to have 5 blocks a game. We expect him to be able to do things like that, and I think to a degree, sometimes that might hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
But, being in the conversation, and we'll see when the ballots come out towards the end of the year, if he's up there, but his stats have him at the top. I mean, he's, defensively there, but I think what will hurt him in every postseason honor is, except Rookie of the Year, is he's on an 11-win basketball team. His impact on wins and losses has been negative. In fact, it's worse than last year with a player like Wemby, which doesn't make sense. And that's an indictment on his teammates and the way this thing was put together. But in reality, you get a player like that and you expect immediate impact on wins and losses. I mean, I had him winning, 38 games this year, which is clearly not going to happen because I thought, well, you take this team and you add a Wemby to it. How many wins is that worth? 10, 12, 15? And they got 11 total wins right now, and we're in March tomorrow, or well, it's leap year, so Friday it'd be March.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, despite what we've seen from Wemby and him living up to the massive expectations that befell him coming into the league and surpassing those, and this team is still somehow worse. Despite him surpassing that, which is more of a detriment of how this team's put together.
It is incredible the way he plays and the excitement he adds. And he's fun to watch. And all the things that he does, the wow moments every game. I mean, every game I've watched, there's always something that you just go, that just happened. That's not real. Yet the team isn't winning. And that's the scary part. And I think the more frustrating part than anything else is you're seeing individual greatness on a bad basketball team.
The only thing I can correlate in my lifetime watching Wemby on a nightly basis to would be like watching Tiger Woods. Every game, every hole, every round he plays, you're gonna see something that it is going to wow and keep you in awe. But with Tiger, you have wins that came with that.
Going with the golf analogy, take me on a golf course. I suck at golf. I'm like the Spurs. But there's always 3 or 4 shots that say, all right, I'm going to do this again. And that's why we watch the Spurs, because those 3 or 4 moments every game with Wemby make watching the Spurs worth watching right now. We're not watching the San Antonio Spurs. And I know some people might argue this a little bit, but you're not really watching the Spurs for enjoyment right now. You're a fan of the team. You want them to do well. We all do if we're a fan, and that's true. But what's making me go and watch the get home from Vegas last night and put on the Spurs game wasn't the Spurs. It was, I want to watch what Wemby is going to do tonight. And so in a way, he's turned into Tiger Woods. I'm watching an individual play a team sport. That is why I'm tuning in and game out, is to watch Wemby. Yeah, I'll see all the other stuff, and all that's great, but in reality, I mean, you've got your steak, and that's Wemby, and the potatoes and the broccoli and whatever other side you want is everybody else. And if all those went away and I just had the steak, I'd still be happy.
He is Jason
If you
Minix.
just left broccoli on the plate, I'm going to be hungry, and I ain't going to eat it.
He is Jason Minix, you and me both. You can catch him weekdays from 2 to 6 right here on San Antonio Sports Star on the Blitz with Joe Reinigle. The Cowboys are up there in Indianapolis as they get ready for the Combine, and there's not a lot that you can deem or take away from Steven's comments, and we'll find out what we can take away from Jerry when he joins later this week on his bus with the media. But the one thing I did take away from Jerry Jones was he was talking about the players that got injured this year and their prognostication of when and he expects players to be back, right? And when you hear him talk about Demarion Overshone and Trayvon Diggs, it's very positive.
I think it's more realistic for camp when you look at the injuries, that they had. They're going to be out there working, but, to actually be participating in team activities is probably a reach, but they're certainly coming along great. The great news on both those injuries, if there can ever be good news on an ACL, is they were done early.
But then he talks about Leighton Vander Esch, who in a way reminds me of Sean Lee in terms of his importance to that run defense and what he's meant to it in his time in Dallas. And there were 2 different versions of the Cowboys with Sean Lee, the team defense with him on it and the team defense without him on it. And Leighton Vander Esch seems to fit that fold when it comes to the Cowboys' run defense and how it performs when he was in the lineup and how he's performed when he's not in the lineup. And Steven's comments lead me to believe that LVE may be done for his career.
We'll just let Leighton will speak to that. Certainly, an injury issue with him. That he's getting his hands around, and let him speak to that.
Do you take away from Steven talking about the injuries of the players that they lost last year, and then hearing the difference in which he spoke with Leighton Vander Esch, that we're going to get a press conference at some point this offseason that's going to be announcing a retirement?
I do. I mean, in hearing Stephen Jones say that, and I go back to Blitz during the football season, his comments. I mean, Leighton Vander Esch is got to think about life after football. And if you're the Cowboys, kind of like with Tyron Smith, not when, if, it's like Sean Lee all over again. And other NFL players that have had situations like that. The importance of Leighton Vander Esch, his value to the team, probably wasn't appreciated by most fans until he was gone. He was the quarterback of that defense for Dan Quinn. And when his injury happened, you saw the run defense get worse. You saw guys out of alignment. You felt his impact, even though you might not have felt it initially. And there was a time where you thought Leighton and Jalen Smith were going to be the next great linebacker duo. And injuries and, well, Jalen being Jalen, he hit his peak early. That certainly wasn't the case. But I do think the Cowboys have to figure out life after Leighton Vander Esch. I don't think it's a surprise. An announcement, I think if you're Leighton Vander Esch and if you've known any athlete dealing with a career-type ending injury that isn't catastrophic, that he's got to mentally see where he's at following his rehab, see if he can still do it, listen to his doctors. But also, there's probably some language in his contract about certain bonuses and roster bonuses and a specific day in which he can make an announcement so he can still get his. And I'm sure the Cowboys are certainly aware of that and want to make sure they get his, because there's insurance policies and different things like that on injuries and whatnot. But also, that's Leighton's decision to make. That also makes me wonder if the decision has been made yet. If it hasn't been made, even if it's 90% leaning one way, team might think one way, but Leighton's under contract. And so, and Stephen Jones isn't going to steal his thunder. If it's a retirement announcement, it will be done in the right way, not at a press gathering in Indianapolis at the Combine.
He is Jason Minix. Catch him with Joe Reinigo every weekday from 2 to 6 on the Blitz. Jason, thanks for your time this afternoon.
Appreciate you, man.
Jason Minix joining us via the Buyers Barricades guest line. All guests appear via the Buyers Barricade guest line, which provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. They are online at buyersbarricades.com. Coming up next, we talked about Steven and the Combine, but with that news about Leighton Vander Esch and what Mike Zimmer will be basically bringing as defensive coordinator, do we expect actual investment in that position this offseason, whether it be free agency or the draft, or hopefully a combination of both? We'll discuss next right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas, with plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. Then, after your round, join the San Antonio Sports Star gang for the after party, where the Blitz will be live at 90 Proof Bar and Grill, 11880 US Highway 90, just 10 minutes from the Golf Club of Texas. It's San Antonio's Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation, Monday, March 25th. Presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's sports star.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin Ultra Soft on the party, this is more, so roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The grip is always soft. It's our party vibe. It's crushing things so our chicks feel fly. So what? Every booty wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Get ready for the live tennis event of the year, the Netflix Slam, on March 3rd at 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Join 22-time Grand Slam champion and tennis legend Rafael Nadal as he takes on world #2, Carlos Alcaraz, and witness a tennis showdown like never before. This live Netflix sports event promises unparalleled tennis action, so don't miss the thrill. Mark your calendars for March 3rd, 12:30 p.m. Pacific. It's Game, Set, Match on Netflix.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
This is Andrew Monaco, and the Aggies play here. 94-1, San Antonio Sports Star.
The Aggies do play here, Andrew. Look forward to hearing from you here in about 19 minutes when we start the pregame for Texas A&M and South Carolina right here on your home for Aggie basketball, San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. The Dallas Cowboys, well, they're up in Indy, or at least Jerry and Steven are, and Will McClay and most of the scouting duos as they get you ready for the draft season, as they're putting in their work, meeting with players, getting everything together that they need to get together. But one of the people in the building that's going to possibly bigger on what needs to happen is going to be the new defensive coordinator, Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer, obviously taking over for Dan Quinn, and Dan Quinn ran a defense that, according to Stephen Jones, the reason Marquise Bell was playing at linebacker late in the season, the reason they were doing what they did with Javon Curse and Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson is they treat their safeties like linebackers.
In general, that was our scheme. More of a 3 safety, 2 linebacker scheme than we were a 3 linebacker, 2 safety scheme. So, I think those are all things that, Mike's going to get in there and we're going to look at, and we'll come up with a good solution that we think will make us better against the run. I mean, obviously running the football and stopping the run are at the top of our list this offseason.
That was Stephen Jones out at the combine, stopping the run, obviously to be very crucial. And to do that, you're going to need linebackers, actual linebackers that won't get eaten up on the second level, or you're going to need great play from your defensive tackles to eat up defenders, to not allow them to get to the second level. And Stephen Jones talked a little bit about the differences and changes that are going to be happening with Mike Zimmer taking over for Dan Quinn on the defensive side of the ball.
There's always a little difference when you make that change. It's a little bit of a challenge when you make that transition. Every guy's going to be a little bit different. I mean, there was a difference between Kellen and Mike. Certainly there'll be some differences, in the way Mike has had success in this league, and then certainly a difference in the way Dan has. Mike, brings a different way of going about it, which I think can be positive for us, but it's outstanding to have him in this building. Obviously, he brings a lot of tenure to the table in terms of what he's done in his career, between, being a great play caller on defense, being a very successful head coach at Minnesota.
It sounds like Mike is going to have, and by Mike, I mean Zimmer, is going to have at least a good portion of their ear when it comes to setting this defense up for success moving forward in what is Mike McCarthy's final year of his contract. And that could be a good thing in terms of them devoting resources once they get Dak's contract taken care of, once they manage to hopefully get CD done and maybe even Micah. But once that's taken care of, they can focus more on the defensive side of the ball. And I do believe that linebacker is going to be a priority for the Dallas Cowboys this offseason once they get all their ducks in a row. And can we please stop with the all-in comments? Because once again, Jerry was asked, or Steven was asked about his dad, Jerry, and his all-in comments in terms of their approach this offseason.
I've never known Jerry not to be all in any given year, but,
Okay. Listen again to what Jerry said.
I would anticipate, with looking ahead at our key contracts that we'd like to address, we'll be all in. I would anticipate we'll be all in at the end of this year.
I'd like to anticipate, with looking ahead at our key contracts that we'd like to address, we'll be all in. Can we stop trying to twist his all in statement of meaning more than what it meant? the key contracts they'd like to address: Dak, CD, and Micah. Those are the key contracts that they would like to address, and that is what they mean when they say they're going all in. They're going all in to make sure that those guys are extended and Cowboys for life. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star 941 FM. What say you? 210-656-3776, 656-3776. If you've got anything that you want to get off your chest, whether it be about the Spurs, Wemby, or the Dallas Cowboys, feel free to call in. Sound off. Roger Flores says, Pop isn't putting the best lineups out there to win. We all see Mamu give this every time with positive results. Same with Barlow, and yet they're not seen again. Heck, I can remember it's on the bench last season, and he shot it well. Look, we need to have a real conversation about where the Spurs currently are and what we need to adjust our expectations to be as the season draws to a close. We'll do that next, right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 941 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, the San Antonio Spurs are back from the rodeo road trip, and they are on the hunt for their 12th win of the season. Will it come tonight against Oklahoma City? We'll get into it. Also, the NFL Combine rolls along. The Dallas Cowboys continue to make headlines. We have thoughts. You have breakfast. We start at 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
You're going to do your strip club DJ. Introduce whoever you feel.
High C to the side say.
High C?
Yeah, she had 9 feet of legs. And that C was high. I'm not proud.
We get it. The John Clay Wolf Show, every Saturday morning.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right?
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Ooh, pass me the intercom thingy.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water, pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
At Progressive, we love sports and saving you money, so we bundled them together.
2 seconds left on the clock, third field goal range, and it looks like he's going to go with a 5-iron. No, wait. The quarterback is skating back on the ice. He's talking with his caddy. They're pulling the goalie. He skates off the fairway as the kicker lines up his putt. It's a breakaway. They bundled their home and auto insurance with Progressive. Touchdown savings, birdie goal.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hello, this is Chip with Diamond J Properties. You're invited to our coastal waterfront grand opening this Saturday, where you can get 2 acres with bay access for only $49.9. That's right, 2 acres bay access for only $49.9. This coastal waterfront community has over 4 miles of water frontage with access to the ICW, Gulf, Matagorda Bay, and much more. Property features paved roads, underground utilities, boat launch, pier, pool, cabana, and more. This property is shown by appointment only. Call now, 210-853-0389. 210-853-0389. 210-853-0389. 210-853-0389.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is the time of year to enjoy life. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking about lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your body's own and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you. So you can walk, run, climb stairs, play golf, and move again, pain-free. No pills, no risky surgery. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients who have reclaimed their mobility. So take action now. It's a great use of your tax refund check, by the way. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
Tonight at 7, it's the Aggies and South Carolina on your home for March Madness. 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
That is right. The Aggies, well, they're trying to make a case with their bubble properties. They take on 18th ranked South Carolina in College Station. Coming up next, Andrew Monaco has the call for you here on your home for Aggie basketball, San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Fred Records on our YouTube live feed says, man, Pledge, you know, Stephen and Jerry Jones are not going to answer a question. They're going to give a runaround and might as well ask if Jerry knew the directions on the cereal. If you are missing it, we found out due to a lawsuit that was filed against a cereal company, against HEB, actually. There are directions on cereal, apparently. Who knew? Hunter Hitch on our YouTube live says, if only Diamond J Properties would give their phone number, that would help. Maybe. Look, the Cowboys need to invest resources in the linebacking position, and I do believe that they will end up doing that for Mike Zimmer. And it's going to be very interesting to see exactly with what kind of propensity this Dak Prescott deal gets done, because that's got to be the first domino to fall that's going to open up the most amount of cap space in order for the Cowboys to at least have some kind of working revenue when they enter free agency. There are other things that they can do to open up even more, Zach Martin and other restructures, but Dak is the biggest domino that has to fall in regards to that. Speaking of which, we heard it on the Blitz today. I heard on the morning huddle. I need to pour one out this evening before we leave for Whataburger. You can check out the morning huddle weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. Rob Thompson, RJ Ochoa, the Blitz every weekday 2 to 6 right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Jason Mix and Joe Reinigal. But Whataburger has had its issues in recent years, and I am, like Joe Reinigal, a staunch defender of Whataburger for my go-to kind of fast food type meal for the most part. As Texans, we hold Whataburger in such high esteem, but we need you to be better, Whataburger. There are too many inconsistencies. There are too many mix-ups. There are too many mess-ups going through the drive-through line these days. I had to swing back through because I didn't have fries. Luckily, I am of the type of person that cannot leave the parking lot without dunking my hand in there for a handful of fries, and usually I finish them before I even get home, even though I live less than like 2 minutes from the Whataburger. You need to be better. It's something that we hold you in too much high of an esteem for this to be as consistent a problem as it is starting to become. Whataburger, please, I beg for the life of you, in the drive-through line, just be better. It's going to do it for me tonight. Extra Innings will pledge right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Coming up next, Aggies in 18th ranked South Carolina on your home for Aggie basketball.
San Antonio is one of my homes away from home.
It's the Jim Rome Show.
It is great to be home. And I said home.
Weekdays at San Antonio Sports Star.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See